again. Say, ¿Cómo está, señor?
¿Cómo está, señor?
¿Cómo estás? What does it mean? ¿Cómo está?
Your mama.
¿Cómo
I
está,
was been with
señor?
your mother last night, but I didn't have change for a dollar.
Steven!
Means how are you?
And, he spoke pretty good Woodback, and I learned some of it, but you forget it. Yeah. I knew it wasn't a cuss word. I knew that.
I remember
My aunt.
once I took this down, my very first time I took it down, and my mom, and for somehow my mom was there, and she sort of got mad at me.
She sort of did.
Mhm.
I don't want to worry about it. Now go find something else that hasn't been dusted in a year. Good boy.
Play out.
Getting on the web, and there's an awful lot of holes. I think every family, you filled
Oh,
in
of
your
course.
holes, but we haven't. And it would be nice to do that, to find them. I've got back in the Massey, which is my father's.
That's your father's side.
And
And that goes way back to like the 1700s, did I hear?
almost, yeah.
That's
It's,
amazing.
But they originally, according to this, came from England,
Uh-huh.
which I was not aware of.
And what's the other side, your mother's side?
Morris, M-O-R-R-I-S-S, which is an extra S as far as the other side of it. And you're doing that.
Me?
You.
What?
Wow.
Well, I must say, I have videotaped a lot of family members, and it's really great
I
having
think
them
it'd
talk
be
about
great after we're
genealogy.
gone, because Alex is going to forget.
Right. It's really good for him
Yeah,
to know.
yeah, it is. He loves that thing. I do too. Bought that at Office Max for
Did you?
$1.95 or something.
Let's keep some turkey. Let's get some turkey.
My grandfather
Got
was
enough
from Texas,
for one.
Odessa, and Midland,
Which grandfather?
Massey. He was actually a cowboy. He came from
Oh, yeah.
Texas to New Mexico on a cattle drive. When I got married when he was 14 or 15 type thing.
Huh.
Then his brother wrote music to Beverly Hillbillies, Petticoat Junction.
Wait a minute. His grandfather?
Actually, my grandfather's brother, Kurt Massey.
Okay.
If you look at the credits on, let's see, he was going to do Green Acres, but he turned it down. But if you look at the credits on Beverly Hillbillies, Petticoat Junction, his name's Kurt Massey, and that's my mother's maiden name.
Uh-huh.
So that was her father's brother.
He's not still alive, is he?
No, he died about,
Yeah, we have another
I want to say
tucker in the
7 or 8 years ago.
Oh.
Lived in Palm Springs, California.
car.
The whole family.
Do you remember
was
about
musically
Louise
oriented.
Massey and the Westoners? They were on the Chautauqua, which is the original Grand Ole Opry type thing. But
Well,
she wrote. She says she wrote My Adobe Hacienda. If you've ever heard of that.
Wrote what?
My Adobe Hacienda. It's a song. I think Uncle Kurt wrote it. With Louise,
Yeah.
but
It's one of those family things that Kurt said that he wrote it, Louise said that she wrote it. And I hear it on the radio
Yeah?
still. It's on KLC. It's a real old station. But my little Adobe Hacienda, somewhere somebody wrote it in family, but he was very music.
she built an Adobe Hacienda in Hondo,
Sugar
New
and
Mexico.
starch.
Who did?
My Aunt Louise.
Don't
Probably
slump your
had
shoulders.
25 rooms, and it's all Adobe looking.
I know you like your
kind of
starch.
thing. It was
I don't blame you.
cool.
It's good.
You know, he was on one of the
Starch and
episodes of Beverly Hills, and he was introduced.
I didn't know
on-
he was on an episode. I
He
knew he
was-
wrote all the music, did all the
Yeah.
music for Beverly Hillbillies.
But they introduced him
I
as
know
Kurt
something
Massey.
that hasn't been
It was in the
dusted in
backyard back by
300
the cement
years.
pond type
What's
thing.
that?
And of course, a lot of that was musically
puppet.
oriented.
Uh-huh.
And they introduced him as Kurt Massey.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Can I get him out?
They did a
Do you have that
spot.
episode on tape by any chance?
No, I don't. I wish I did. You know, of course, I'd have to
Okay.
watch
What did you
Yeah.
say?
all
I
of it.
said,
That could be pretty punishing.
Yeah, that could be very punishing. But just to have that.
Yeah,
particular
somebody should
episode
get a copy of
would
that.
be cool.
I got
That'd be
a,
passed down for generations.
Uncle Richie, Mikesells, sent me some sheet music, Louise. And also I have an article that Betty Rowland sent me that was in the Roswell Daily Record about Louise Massey and the Westerners.
No.
Yeah, he wants to look at
Oh, he
the,
does?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think they were going to.
the puppets.
Okay.
Kathy said she was gonna send the rest of the
She
puppets.
had them?
His grandfather made these puppets, yeah, Richie.
Wow.
And all we have left is
On your side?
No.
Okay.
No. Bill.
I see.
Made these with his brother up at Estes Park.
Really?
And,
Alex, can
Why
you show
should-
those puppets to the camera? Can you turn them around?
and who is that? Dun, 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 dun. Peter and the Wolf. That's the wolf.
Mr. Wolf?
Uh-huh.
Or Pinocchio?
And
Wow.
the other
Well, they
one
spent
is-
the whole summer there.
Uh-huh, yeah. Which is-
How long ago did they make those puppets? How old are they?
How did people get to do that?
Well, his dad
68.
taught in
He's
college.
probably
And they were off for 3 months.
54 years.
So they would.
Did you say
live
68 or
there.
58?
He's
They
58
the same
now.
amount
Or
of
68,
rent
so
on
that was made, so
The
you made him
YMCA.
at 10.
Wow.
So it'd be
Talk about
58.
When he was 10 years old, he made this?
Yeah.
Wow.
We
That's
tried
amazing.
When we were younger to get a job.
But it's,
They pay about $30 a month.
if you know
Get-
which ones,
get your cab.
because, you know, his dad was
Great.
a,
You could live on
teacher.
$30.
so he had the summers off. So he'd go up to Estes Park and YCA and rent the same cabin year after year.
Uh-huh.
But when
Can you
my
just
dad and his brother were little,
I don't care.
they used to,
can be
of
dusty.
course,
Dusty makes
spend
them
time up
good.
there. And they built tree houses up there that were up there until last year.
Is the Bluebird treehouse
They
going
took
on?
it, they finally took it down last year.
Wow.
Sad.
But they buried the family dog up there, Frisky.
Yeah, Frisky's right.
Yeah, and they carved the cross
They
on the
took
tree.
down
And if you know where to look, it's still there.
Wow.
And
the treehouse.
They
in fact,
guess they
when,
took the
when my
Bluebird
dad's
treehouse
dad
down.
died, we went
Interesting.
to
But
the
it was
church
just
at
a
the
little piece of wood
YMCA.
there.
But
When
when
the
they first
Rockies,
started,
Right.
it was a
their
big
church where
one.
he was
How
a
big?
pastor for
Well, I
some
don't
of
know.
the summers.
I was just
And-
up there
And got, were you?
last week.
Really?
Well, to teach a kid power class.
Oh, up at the YMCA camp?
Yeah. At
Well,
the
if you
church
go-
there.
If you go to that church.
I was
like,
in the church.
remember, we went in there, me and my dad went underneath the church.
Uh-huh.
And they have a bunch of storage spaces underneath there. And
Boy, they really messed
he
up,
was into
weren't they?
fly tied us on flies and stuff like that.
The last
And we
time
got
we
several
worked on
cases of
when
his
was
stuff
when we had that
Huh.
that
dinner
were
party.
under there
That's-
through.
I did
wow,
that with
must have
Eric.
been
Aaron, whatever.
years.
Yeah, when Eric.
But they
his
went
name
up
was
there for
Eric,
like
that's right.
34 years in a row.
Wow.
Rented a cabin all summer.
He's one of my favorite cousins.
So
Then, your dad and Uncle Richie went to school in Estes Park for 3 or 4 months one year because there was such a bad scare of polio before they had found out what polio was. And Granny Mikesells would take them back to Wichita because everybody had polio
I
in
remember
Wichita.
that.
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't personally remember it, but
Yeah.
there's good programs on about this.
I wasn't allowed to go swimming or anything
Mhm.
because of polio, but they stayed up there through the fall until it
Really?
died. Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
That was Dad just loved that. Went to school at
bet.
Estes Park.
I bet.
Okay.
Joanne, tell me a bit about the Morris side. How far does that go back that you know about?
My Aunt Lucille wrote it, and I don't remember. There were an awful lot of Morrises. My mother was a member of 14.
Your
One
mother
of
married at
14.
14?
No, she
Oh,
did.
oh.
She did marry at
Oh.
15, but
Huh.
she was one of 14 children.
Wow.
That's why she got married, so young to get away from him. But I really don't. Now I have to get the book out because I don't remember whether it.
Does it go back pretty far, or is it more?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's 14, and then my grandmother was named Jamie Logan, and she was married to Robert Morris, and she died with her first child of pneumonia. And he went to a neighboring ranch and married one of twins. There was Leo and Ola, and he married Ola. My mother's name is Leola because they named her after the twins.
Wow.
That, really, really cool. But they had 10 children. So mother,
Wow.
honey, this is,
Did you tell me that they had traced it back to like the 1700s to North Carolina?
Wasn't that the Massey side?
no, I think that's Moore side, because I have very
Oh.
little on the Massey side. Yeah,
Oh,
there's
that's-
there's
okay.
some cemeteries that they were buried in the Morris family cemetery in North Carolina. Well, hell, you could go back and look forever, you know,
Mm-hmm.
with that kind of a, and they did things by counties, something county, Carolina. But
Mhm.
I'll dig it out and look at it and fill out what I can find on it for 'em.
Wonderful. That would be very helpful.
And that would be knowing where Alex.
Oh, that's a nice patch on it.
It is a nice patch. Since your granny didn't sew, I think she did a real, I mean, your great-grandmother didn't sew. She did a very good job of those costumes.
I mean, Granny Matthew was.
Granny Mikesells. Her name was Nellie Patterson Mikesells. And she changed it from Nellie to Patricia legally.
Are we
Never to
ready
be
for
called
that
Nellie
play-
again.
Huh.
play- What for the kid
Her,
crowd?
her husband, my grandfather, you know, the average
I know
IQ
you
per-
did.
in America is 100. He had 140, you're a genius. Well, his IQ was 160. And he taught school, wrote a lot of books, but his table manners were absolutely atrocious. That is, I mean, if you wanted to know, yeah,
Granddad
Mikesells.
Michael?
And I got the opportunity to eat across the table from him. And his wife made chicken pot pies and jello, lime jello, so that was the big meal. And, but they, you know, they were very affluent in Chicago and stuff like that.
Yeah, her dad was head
Was
bookbinder for the Chicago Library back in the 1800s.
for like 50 years, right?
Yeah.
They gave him a watch type thing.
Granddad had his PhD, got his master's from Harvard.
You like all
Mike's-
dry meat, Granny?
Pardon?
You want all dry meat?
Oh, I don't care, whatever you have there,
So how did
Steve.
you get into this, you know?
And there's no adult around. He's out there by himself. He's on his own. And that's what we teach kids, is what to do when you're on your own. You have different safety rules when you're on your own than when you're with a trusted adult. So, he's left a favorite toy of his out here, and I'm a stranger walking by, and this is what happens. Wow. Oh, boy, this is really neat. This is a nice little marionette. Hey, little boy, is this yours? Here, why don't you take this? Good job. Well, he wouldn't actually jump on the couch. And he wouldn't even actually run. But so what he's doing there, he has three different rules that you didn't see this. But the rules are: you don't talk to a stranger, you don't take anything from a stranger, not even your own things, not even your own toys.
Really?
Right.
That'd be hard to do.
That's exactly right. And that's why we practice this. So he knows. We try to pretend it's their favorite toy.
Replace something.
Exactly. We say, Alex, what's more important, you or your things?
Me?
Yes, absolutely right. Can your things be replaced? Just about anything?
Yes.
Can you be replaced?
No.
No way. So that's what we have the kids really understand and practice. And the rule is you don't take anything, not even your own stuff, not even your own puppy or kitten. And you don't talk to a stranger, and you go and get help. And get help from an adult who can help you get that stuff back or figure out what to do. So that's what you just saw there by him doing that. He got up, he didn't say anything. Even when I asked him point blank, is this yours? He didn't answer it because we teach the kids not to talk. If you're 8 or under, the rule is you don't talk to
8
strangers.
or under.
Right. If you're 9 or older, it's okay to give short answers, but nothing complicated and no personal information. But since Alex is 6, his rule is you don't talk to strangers.
Okay, I talked to the kids, girls and boys, small ones, with your parents.
That's fine. When they're with an adult, when they're with a trusted adult, we encourage them to be friendly.
Good.
Yes. It's only when
I
they're
had
on
a
their
girl the
own.
other day, she was afraid to speak to me.
Well, that happens even when they're with their parents.
That was just
Some kids are incredibly friendly and will go up to you and tell you everything about their entire lives within 5 minutes. And they'll tell you everything about their parents' lives. And then there are other kids who will hide behind their mother's legs no matter what. And they're totally shy and they will not even look at you in the eyes. And then there are kids in between. But no matter where they are, what category they're in, the rule is, Alex, I think you showed us enough of how the walker works, okay? Why don't you come and sit with me on the couch, because we're going to show people the other thing.
Tell me, Mark.
Yes.
How'd you happen to get into this?
Let me show you this one skill, and then I will tell you that.
Okay.
All right, Alex, could you sit down? Now, another thing we have is about setting rules around boundaries on touch, especially with people you know, because of what I explained before about how many people you know bother you. All right, so Alex, so we're going to pretend that I'm Alex's uncle. We're going to pretend that Alex is a little boy who's my nephew. Okay? All right. All right, so if Alex likes me, my hand on his knee, or let's say tickling him, and he likes that, that's okay, that's fine. But if he doesn't like it, he has the right to set a boundary with anybody. And this is how he would do it. Hey Alex, how you doing?
Stop, please.
Stop, what do you mean? Come on, you don't want me to stop.
I said stop.
Good, well you can't hear. Alex, why don't you come on over here so they can see? Go ahead and do that again.
I said stop.
So he's making a fence with his hands, making a boundary, saying, I said stop, because he's repeating, he's being extra careful, extra clear about setting a boundary.
Forceful.
Right. Then I would go like this. I said, oh, come on, Alex. I thought I was your favorite uncle. I thought you're hurting my feelings, you know?
You are my favorite uncle. But I just don't want you to touch me right now.
Oh, come on, Alex. Look, I'll tell you what. If you let me tickle you, I'm going to let you take home all the peach cobbler, and you can eat it all just like that, all with the whipped cream, okay? If you just let me tickle you.
Stop or I'll tell.
Tell? You would tell on me? Look, don't do that, because people would misunderstand that. Promise me you're not going to tell anybody, okay?
I promise not to tell if you stop.
Okay, forget it. I won't tickle you anymore. And then what are you going to do after that, Alex?
Tell?
Tell. He's going to tell.
Absolutely.
Okay. Steven, you can shut it off now.
Good job, Alex.